Hi guys, welcome back to Journey Teachers. Today we have Meghal Singh with us. Hi Meghal. Hello. And we are going to try a very new format which is finally podcasting on Journey Teachers, and we have our first in-person guest already. So how are you doing, Meghal, today?
I'm doing great. Everything is going great. How about you?
I'm doing good as well. As you can see, already very excited about this podcasting
Yeah,
journey. So what do you feel? What do you feel about podcasting?
I feel it's a great to have a conversation and get deeper into the topics and even understand others' point of view and while talking about that topic as well. And for like someone who is already like watching it, they would also get more insights and maybe they could like relate with it too.
Yes, of course. It's a very great way to
Yeah.
relate to the other person and just have interesting conversations. So, Meghal, you are a college student, right?
Yeah.
Which college are you studying?
I'm studying in Christ University, Bangalore.
So, what are you doing?
I'm pursuing my master's in media communication. Yeah.
Yes, okay. So, you are away from home, right?
Yeah.
Are you missing home?
Not really. Uh, Not really, because for the past 12 years I've studied in boarding, so I've been away from home. Then for my undergraduation as well, I was in Christ itself, that is like again in another city, and then here again for masters. So yeah, like once I come back from home, sometimes I feel like 1 2 days I miss because it's the comfort I miss and the relaxation and all that, because I know how hectic it's going to be.
Hmm.
Otherwise it's neutral.
Okay, that's great to hear. So, how have you spent your hostel life? What are your fond hostel memories?
So basically, it's more of like how much like friendship bond I have like developed over the past few years, and like I am still in touch with them, and it's those memories and like proper like where you are away from phones, gadgets, and like even for like we weren't even allowed like MP3 and all that. So it was basically like quality time. We knew importance of that, and also like how it has developed me for being more disciplined and like responsibilities and also time management and all that. So yeah.
If given a chance ever in the future, would you prefer selecting home to live your entire childhood, or would you still go to hostel?
Like
If
going
given an option to just like.
stay at home or like go back to hostel definitely, because I feel at home it's fine, but there's nothing to do basically. Like even if you're productive, how long can you be productive? Like I know family is also there, but like they're also busy in their own thing. I mean, that's my personal opinion, but I feel it's more of like I would be more happy in my hostel life. So yeah.
Yeah, one can be more productive. You get your own friends and you
Yeah.
get your own time
Yeah,
accordingly.
there's so many things to discuss and share and like have a conversations about that. So yeah.
So before starting the podcast, you were telling me that you believe in visualization,
Yeah.
manifestation, all of that. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on it? Let's talk about that.
I feel over the past few years, I have like developed a strong feeling towards visualization and manifestation and all. Earlier, I didn't had any idea on how it is or how it's supposed to be done. But like when there is some belief system inside you, and when you start believing it and start visualizing, and those small things which actually comes true, and then you're like, oh, you thought about it for so long and now it's coming. So that makes my visualization and manifestation like more stronger and more aligned towards it.
You believe in manifestation.
Yeah.
So what according to you is the process how to go about manifestation?
So basically, it's not a like a full or a difficult technique. It is very like it depends basically on your belief system. How I started with manifestation is I randomly like started reading books. Like I think they must have heard about it. It is called The Secret. So there I started like coming to know about that. Manifestation is basically like training your subconscious mind on to like think about all the positive outcomes. So it is like very basic. And then like there are many practices which people do. Some do it through writing. Maybe they write it every day, which is basically positive words, which is also called affirmations. Some make vision boards. For me, vision boards work a lot, because for me, like sticking those pictures from Pinterest and putting it in my place where I see it every day, it gives me that motivation. Oh, I need to work on it. It is a reminder to yourself. So example, just a basic example, that I want to score well in for my exams. And especially manifestation is not that you said about it and it is gonna come true. You have to work for it. So a basic example is someone who maybe got like really bad marks in their college days or anything as such, and now they want to get good marks during that examination. So maybe they can just stick those words, or like those what like they want to actually get during that grade basically in the examination. So then they can put it in the vision board, and then after that maybe they can like that thing, it's gonna get motivation that, oh, they're gonna like study every day, visualize it every day, that you are going to achieve that. You should not have any negative boundary or negative self-talk with yourself. So example, if I'm saying, oh, I got this paper is really easy, even though I know it is difficult, but you need to train your mind, this is really easy, this topic is really nice. And then once the process is happening, then once you literally achieve that, and then when you get like good marks, so it feels like, oh, like you actually visualized it and it got true. Very simple example I would give is, example, you are like shopping, doing online shopping, and you found something nice, and now you're pretty sure that it is going to come to you because you've placed the order, you've done the payment and all that. So that is also subconsciously those small things you're visualizing, because you imagined yourself first in that outfit, and then like you're ordering it, the process, and then you don't have that negative self-talk, oh, will I get that order, because in your mind it's like, obviously I've ordered, I've done the payment, it is going to come to me. So that is how that, oh, you got what you want types. And people have actually manifested very big dreams as well. For example, someone who wants to start their own business, or maybe like buy a new car. So for that also, like manifesting, like maybe they want to have that amount of money, so they are going to work on that to have that amount of money and manifest the car which they actually want. So basically visualizing, and that feeling of happiness, that, oh, you got this. So yeah.
Right, because when we're able to visualize, it actually, gets manifested, and we can reach out to that outcome.
Yeah.
So does it work in partners as well, life partners? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it definitely works for that as well. But in this, you have to be really specific also. There are like two factors. I'm not really like professional in this, but I'll share some insights that some people get attached to someone's style, and some people get attached to like a specific person. So example, when someone is creating or manifesting their dream partner, they actually have to like act upon it, or maybe like just start believing that you are with that person already. And then you have to make a proper checklist on how you want the other partner to be. But before manifesting that other partner, you also have to work on yourself as well, to be that potential to be with that dream partner. And it's not that it's going to happen in 6 months, 3 months. This can happen anytime, but you need to have that belief system, and you never know how universe or like god sends that dream partner subconsciously. So yeah. And also for dream partner, you really have to be very specific, and when you're writing down, you don't need to think about any person actually. It just has to be like the quality, the trait, the personality, what you want to give and what you want to receive and all that. Because once you manifest a specific person, it might go wrong. That is there also. So yeah.
So when you visualize
Yeah.
and when you kind of manifest a wrong person, and maybe he can enter your life,
Hmm.
she can enter. So what happens in that case?
So example, if you manifested the wrong person, I'll just give a basic example. Like you manifested, oh, my dream partner hair should be like this, he should be very caring, and he should be really like whatever the qualities a girl wants in a guy and all that. Example, you manifested that. But once you are with that partner, did you actually ask yourself that do you really like this person, or it is just the qualities which is attracting you more? Temporary it's fine, but see as a future potential also, that what you actually manifested, do you actually want to be with that person? Because it is fine, but at the end it comes to the personality and how that person is being with you and how you are also being with that person. So that ends up, and all those things are basically all the personal issues on how they take up other like environmental boundaries and what society is saying. So all those boundaries and hindrance on how you take that up.
So
So
I
yeah.
feel like there are both internal as well as external factors affecting.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So give us some insight into the visualization board. What are the elements of that board? How to set up a board for yourself, and does it actually is useful in reaching out to that goal?
Yeah, it is actually, because so basically usually what people do is they do it at the end of the year or maybe like every 6 months. Personally, what it has worked for me, it is like at the end of the year when I during December month I sit back and reflect on how my year went, grateful things, whatever good opportunities and things which I want to cut down to next year. So basically, like very simple, when I was using a lot of like phone at night and all, I made sure that I'm going to cut down on all these things. These are just the habits. But if or like I wanted to go on like some trips and like have a networking event and all that, and it was last year, and I just posted a picture of a beach because I had never gone to a beach. So I just added those pictures that okay, maybe this year. And then I was not thinking in that mind that oh, what if there is no what if, and but I was like, I'll go. I don't know when, but I'll go this year. And then the trip thing, and then the networking thing, I added to my vision boards, and then other personal stuff like on my health and all those things. And then accordingly, whatever I wanted, I wrote that in my goals page as well, making it sure that oh, I like achieve all this. And then when things passed by and all that, and subconsciously when there was this long weekend and all that, I had no idea that if my parents are gonna allow or anything as such, but surprisingly they did allow, and which I was surprised. And to be honest, like there were some pictures which was very similar to what was there in my vision board. So that is also like my visualization, that I didn't knew that if what my parents are gonna say or anything, I was just sure that I'll go. Another thing about all these other the networking event also, I enrolled in a digital marketing course, very random thing to do. It was an online course, and they were from Bombay, but they wanted to do a networking event for the first time in Bangalore. They reached out to me, and then I went to the networking event, which was very which happened very subconsciously, and it wasn't planned or anything as such, and I just gave it a shot, and it was my first networking event. I was like, okay, I'll there. And then all these things made me so happy because I'm like, oh, this is all what I added in my vision boards. So I feel like someone who is creating a vision board and all, they have to be really specific to what goals they want to achieve. Pick those similar pictures on whatever works on this, but not like some pictures which is very aesthetic and looks very Pinteresty, but something which is very similar to you, or maybe you can relate to it. For example, if someone is planning to get a new apartment or anything as such, everyone have different aesthetics on how they want to design it or anything as such. So they need to just find the right picture. Oh, this is my vibe, this is how I relate to it. So then you will feel more connected to it. So yeah.
Right. So it has to be related to you and not
Yeah.
just like very fancy items, but
Yeah.
what you would want to see in your day to day life in
Yeah.
front of you in the vision board. So you,
Yeah,
yeah,
adding on to this, like some people who are very like into phone and laptop, everything, their work is everything, like they write notes and all that. So what they do is, or I have noticed, is they have a vision board as their desktop wallpaper or their phone wallpaper. Someone who's into writing and journaling, so have those vision board like in their room walls or like in their diary, those pictures where they can see it every time, or maybe some affirmations and all that. So it depends from person to person.
right. So it does not need to be on your wall, but it can be everywhere around so that it
Yeah.
get manifested very fast.
Yeah.
So you create pens as well, and what do
Yeah.
you think about living a Pinteresty lifestyle, I would say, because you have an eye for aesthetic, and I feel like people these days, they want to create an aesthetic content, journey for themselves. They want very aesthetic videos, and even content creators are looking for aesthetic backgrounds, and whatever content they're creating, it should be very appealing to the audience. So
Yeah.
give us some insights on that.
So basically, firstly, for like creating content and all, I feel visuals play a very important role, or maybe the background. How is it? Because they can relate to it more. It should be more clean and not crowded. Even if simple things are there, it should be aesthetic. It should be looking aesthetic and all that. And talking about my personal on being on Pinterest, browsing through Pinterest and actually like adding pins also to my Pinterest. It is very random where I scroll for ideas and inspirations, which many people do these days on
Yeah.
how like on Pinterest and all that. So I used to save boards and all that. But when basically I started off on Pinterest, where I was like, I can't put just pictures in my gallery and keep it. I'll just have a Pinterest board where I'll have different boards and pins to like see what the moments of my life are. And that how I started. But then my audience started growing, and there were like some people who started saving my pins, and that's how my audience also increased. So I was like, oh, this like really plays a nice role. And I feel like if someone who is into like ideas or inspirations or even likes aesthetics or anything as such, they can actually like explore this platform and find a lot of inspirations. And literally, Pinterest can also work as a vision board as well. If you're someone who is not into those adding pictures to wall, or if you're someone who's just browsing through your Pinterest or like even Instagram save collection, also you can just take all those relatable pictures and add it to your pin boards, and you can just see it anytime whenever you're free. So it will remind you of your goals, and those pictures you can relate to it. So yeah.
Right. So people actually are looking for aesthetics everywhere. It
Yeah.
can be, and I feel like the definition of aesthetic has also changed along with time as we're moving. So it's like we need proper lighting, or the background has to be a certain way,
Yeah.
or maybe the video creation thing has to be a certain way, so that the audience is engaged and it,
Yeah.
it is relatable to the audience,
Yeah.
right? So what is your, how do you think, see aesthetics around? How do you feel that, okay, this is the perfect angle for my videos, as you create cafe videos, and you visit various places, or maybe around your college itself you create reels and content out of it. So how do you see that, okay, this is a nice angle to take a shot, or is it coming through practice, or how is it?
So basically, like I had this idea of randomly clicking pictures. Even if like I used to browse Pinterest a lot, so there were a lot of like images or visions in my mind already. And firstly, like these days, aesthetics means doesn't mean to be like too much fancy and all. It can be clean and simple as well. When I go to like new places or all that things, I don't see that, oh, everything should come to the picture and all. I just see the particular element or object which I find very calm and pleasing, and I'll just take a picture of it, zoom it, and then I'll just focus on the object. So that, and then when I forget about the background and all, and then it just becomes very aesthetic. And example, in class or like in cafe, if my friends, if they've done a nice hairstyle, they're just looking there randomly or anything as such, and I
So
feel
you'll click a picture.
I'll just click a picture because I'm like, oh, this is some nice idea. I'll add it to my pins or anything as such. If I'm walking with my friend and her, like she's just walking and if the background is pretty as well, I'll just take a picture and just add it to my pins. Even with cafes and all that, if I see that when I'll just look down at the cafe or the food and I see, oh, everything is so aligned, color coordinated and all that, I'll just shift the places and I'll just take a picture and then add it to my Pinterest, and then that way I just adding to my collections, or basically moments, or what people say usually digital diary these days. Yeah.
Right. So I feel like content creation is not just limited to Instagram. As you said, it's like
Yeah.
moving on to Pinterest, YouTube,
Yeah.
and all of that. Even it started from YouTube, and then Instagram came
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
picture. So as you are a content creator yourself, and this is a very lucrative career
Yeah.
nowadays. What
Yeah.
are your expectations from content creation? What do you, how do you see yourself as a content creator in the future?
To be honest, I just love the process of being a content creator and just creating content and all that. I know sometimes it is very restrictive, where when you reach out to brands and all, and they look out for engagements, followers count and all that. But I feel like until and unless you are enjoying the process, happy with it, it is completely fine. But yeah, someone who is into content creation and all, one advice I would like to be is stick to your niche, because that is something these days people get a lot of confused, and that would, yeah. And also, like, if you're doing something similar to what others are doing, try to make it more like unique on how it is. So example, if my, even though there's so many people doing aesthetics, but I there are many who could relate to it, because it is kind of old school. And even for cafes and all that, the way I shoot and all that, so it depends from other person creativity to creativity. I'm not saying to, and these days are there a lot of people who just copy content and post it. That's fine, that's totally okay to go viral, but you need to find your unique point as well, where you will feel happy, oh, this is your creative mind. So yeah. And whatever I feel aesthetic, whatever I feel nice, I just post. And then, even like talking about how I see myself as a content creator, I feel like maybe like I could do more of brand collaborations and just enjoying the process and being open more to opportunities, and not restricting myself to anything, and just figuring out different type of content formats and just being creative, because that's actually makes me feel happy also.
So not just setting up very long term goals, but
Yeah,
having that creative input of mind that you just have to show your creativity, just be out there, try and just be consistent in making content,
yeah,
and we'll see where we go.
yeah, yeah. Just enjoying the process. Yeah,
Right. Okay. So since you are working along with college, maybe content creation or
yeah,
maybe other freelancing projects, brand collaborations, or any other things like
yeah.
that. So how do you feel that, being a college student, how are you able to manage time, especially when you're living alone in a new city, when you are away from home? So what do you think on that?
So basically, I started with my freelancing and all that from my second year of college itself. But till first year, I was just figuring out. But once my I got to know, okay, this is something which I can take it up. At start, I used to feel little hectic and felt like, oh, I think I should quit. But then I was like, no, I need to figure out a time and all that. So I made sure that I know that I have weekend, Sunday. I know that the entire Sunday I can't just waste it somewhere. So 2 3 hours maybe I can cut down to it, work on the freelancing and all that. I made sure that more of the work I'm doing on weekends, so that on weekdays it's just balance and to keep it updated. Also, it depends from person to person on how they are managing. Talking about, so this is how I used to balance my freelancing and anything as such. And to be honest, it's a very flexible team as well. So whatever content and all I'm doing, so it is very adjustable to my routine also, because it has become a part of it now. The other thing about cafe collaborations and all that, I usually pitch the brands earlier, so that I get time during weekends, so that it's more of a outing for me as well, and my work is also done. And then when I come back, I have another day, which is example Sunday, to just like sit down, think about the content and all that. And yeah, so like basically utilizing my weekend time into more of personal things also. It's not saying like saying to like totally cut down on my social life as well. I do have a social life, but it's basically about balance. Yeah.
So would you want to summarize your top three tips on time management?
So basically, top three tips would be to when Sunday, I think you should already have a to do list on what things are important for you the upcoming week. So example, then the week has started, and then you can figure out, oh, this day you have this much time, so you can figure out on that. So basically, having a to do list for the week. Secondly, time blocking on what all things are important. And thirdly, when you are actually doing the task, you should start on what you need to do, and then what you want to do. So need to do is something which we procrastinate. So example, if I saying need, example, it's CIA, and I want to do content creation. So first I'll do what I need to do is CIA, even though I would like just not do it, and then I'll do it, because then that would give me the motivation. Oh, now I'm going to do my favorite thing, so I should just wrap it up quickly and then start doing with my content creation. So this is one thing. And this third tip which I said, that what you need to do, and then the what I want to do, this I learned from Atomic Habits book. So yeah.
So I can see throughout the conversation that you are very fond of reading books.
Yeah.
What would be your book recommendations for the viewers?
Mine is basically I shifted to self-help totally till now. I think Atomic Habits would be a great help, and any other I can't really recall, but this is one book which is really
And The
nice.
Secret also you
Yeah, The
mentioned.
Secret also. Like you will feel very powerful, and like you'll start having that s- positive self-talk to yourself. Another book recommendation would be The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, which will tell you how to actually train your brain to your subconscious mind. So yeah.
Right. So, you are so productive and you give your time in valuable things which actually work for you. So, do you ever feel that the college life, the fun part of it, is getting neglected when you are giving so much time being productive and just being working?
Yeah, sometimes I do feel that, oh, I wish like even I could do this, or I wish I could go out. But frankly speaking, I have a very like private social life. So if like I'm saying that I'm busy, so they understand that, okay, I am busy. But when I meet them, I make sure that I'm actually spending my quality time there. So I know like it is very overwhelming where you'll see in college like a lot like of groups and like hanging out here and there, which is completely fine. I agree with that. But I personally like it this way, where I have a private social life, and where like when I feel like going out, then I go out. And I know there are some times where it is a problem saying no as well. But until and unless it is for me and the other person is understanding as well to how my schedule is, it is totally fine with it. So yeah.
Right. So, you have set up a balance for yourself which actually works. That,
Yeah.
you have the boundaries set
Healthy
up.
boundaries.
Yes, set up very clearly.
Yeah.
That is the best thing.
Yeah.
So, you are into social media marketing, you said, and you are going to kind of start something
Yeah.
new on that. So, would you want to tell the people out there?
Yeah, so basically it's called Sheedas Social. It is a social media community helping students to build their career in social media marketing. This idea came up when few years back I was facing a problem or thinking, oh, I wish there was someone who could help me with it, and especially coming from a commerce background. So when now I know some tips and advice and insights on how to do it, I would love to help students or beginners who want to get into content creations or start with social media marketing basically and stand out in the market, because right now everyone is doing it. It's either from commerce background or any other background. So just that how you should pitch in yourself to the market, that depends. So yeah, that is why I started with this.
Wow, that seems quite interesting, and I'm sure that not only me but the viewers also would be waiting for its grand launch if you're planning one. I'll drop the Instagram links in description for them to reach out to you and be
Definitely.
a part of your community and be a part of. You can say them to be a part of Journey Teachers as well.
Yeah, you should definitely subscribe to Journey Teachers. It is a great channel where you can literally learn about academics, mental health, or a lot of topics. And even she has interviewed a lot of professors. So if you're someone who really wants to know some insights into it, then you should definitely check out this channel. And there are very like good and great topics she has in mind for this. So I think you should definitely subscribe to it.
See, she's doing it by herself. I didn't tell you to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Meghal. That was
Yeah.
it from our side. It was a lovely conversation with you, where we came to know about more about your life, your college memories, your hostel memories, about
Yeah.
what you believe in, and how are you balancing things out there. So thank you so much for coming here. It's been a lovely conversation. Our audience also got to learn a lot, and
Yeah.
I hope they'll be able to take out from this conversation and apply in their lives as well.
Yes.
Any last take on whatever insights you want to give before we wrap it up?
Insights on like we talk on so many topics.
General about life, about positive thinking, motivation. How do you see life for yourself? How do you just like keep going on every day? What's our motivation to
It's
do that?
basically all about your mind. So the way you like train it, and like how you tell your subconscious mind, the more positive you are to few things, the better it is. Also, one advice, like earlier I used to like do a lot of negative self talk, and I used to get frustrated with all those small things which I couldn't get or wasn't happening for me. But now I take it positively. Oh no, maybe like God has the right timing, or maybe this was not meant for me. Maybe something good is going to happen for me, or like a good opportunity than this. No, it's fine. I missed it. So like, being very calm to yourself, and like not being hard on yourself. So this is my advice.
So treat yourself with love. That
Yeah.
is what matters. Show some self love, and not only to yourself, to the people around you, to your loved ones,
Yeah.
so that you have a great community of people. Humans are social animals. We need to be surrounded by good people around,
Yeah.
and we need to radiate positive energy within each other, for each other, with ourselves. So that is your best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and we hope to have you here again very soon.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
definitely. Thank you so much for having me here as well. Hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you.
Yes, it was a very insightful conversation.
Yeah.
We are done.